Okay, what we have here is a custom job. It's a couple of ukuleles that a customer wants me to cut out bending forms for. This particular one, I'm going to use the tenor. They've sent me some PDF files of the hard copy designs, which I need to convert to vectors, and then once I've done that, I'll convert that to machine code. So what I'm going to use is Autocad, which is open at the moment, a little bit of Rhino 4, which is that one, but for the most part I'll be using Autocad. I've also got a timer down here so I can basically see how long this is going to take me. So let's start the timer and we'll get into it. So first thing I need to do is insert the raster image, which is the drawing of the uke. That's pretty much alright. I don't care about the scale at this point. I just need to open up that picture. I've set a few different layers. Temp I use to put the picture in. Now I'm going to switch layer to master. Now a bit of a look at it. First thing I notice is that center line is not level. So the picture has obviously been a little bit off square when it was photocopied. The other thing I see is that this part of the drawing is a bit missing. So I'll have to take a bit of a guess on that rounded point there. First thing I need to do is square all this up. So let me do a bit of zooming. Line roughly there. Turn off my orthodox to roughly there. Now that gives me a line that's in line with the drawing. So now what I need to do is rotate the whole thing. Come down to here, turn on my snap. Now you'll see, because orthodox is turned off, I can turn it to any angle. But what I want to do is do a reference. So I reference there, that point there, come down to this one, reference there, turn on orthodox, and that snaps it back into 90 degrees. So now we have the drawing is square to the computer. That's simple enough. What I need now to do is trace around the outside of the uke. For that, we'll be using a spline. It's a simple enough matter. Turn off orthodox, turn off snap. Have a general guess where it starts from. So we'll click on that. Now what the spline command does is it takes a series of points that I'll put in, and it don't have to be all that good. It takes a series of points and then calculates a smooth curve according to those points. So there's a bit of zooming going on here and a little bit of tracing and a lot of clicking. So it does take a little time to do. And I know it's a little annoying watching this. So I'll try and hurry up. Now I'm on the layer master, and I've selected red for it. And I think the default is a black color, but I've selected red so I can see the red on the black drawing. We're nearly there. A few more clicks, a little bit rough, but it's no problems because we'll load that into Rhino later and we'll smooth it all out. Now I'm getting to the end here, so I need to start taking a couple of guesses, and I need to make sure that I've finished the line over this side of the last point and not that side. So we'll go about there. Finish that command, zoom out to the whole thing. I'll zoom extents. Turn off my temp layer, and there it is. So we'll save that. I've already called it tenor DXF, so I can save. Open up Rhino. Open DXF file. We'll find the new file where it is, tenor. We want to work from the top. If I go back into Autocad and I click on that, you see all the blue dots. That's where I've put a point to create the spline. So what we're going to do in Rhino is I'll select that into copy to layer, and ask me which layer to copy to. I want a new one. I'll call that smooth. Click OK. That's my new drawing layer. I'll turn off all these layers. I can turn off master for now. And I enter a command, smooth. It's asking me down here, select the objects to smooth. That's that. Press enter. It's asking me what I want to, or how I want to smooth it. So let's enter something ridiculous. And that's what it does. We'll try 1. It's not bad. I'll turn that back on, but see there's too much change in it. Turn that back on. So what we'll do is smooth. We'll do a 0.1. There's not much change there. So the red is the original master drawing here. The black is what it's smoothed to. So that's not too bad. That's quite acceptable as a smooth drawing. So now what I'll do is save as, smoothed. Once I get my spelling sorted out. And then we will save as DXF, smoothed. Okay. File successfully written. Come back into Autocad, open. There's our file, smoothed. Let's go into model space. And there is the 2 lines that it's drawn, the master and then the smoothed line. If I click there, you'll see that the points have changed. There's a lot more of them, but that makes it a smooth line. If I go and click on that one, try this again. So come into here, open, smoothed, model. Now we don't want master, we'll turn that off. And you'll see there's a lot more smoothed points in that line. So open up master again, smoothed. What I want to do is draw a line, turn on my snap. We're working on the black. To there. Turn off layer master, smoothed. Now I want to trim these points here. So trim command, there's my trim line, that one, that one. Zoom extents. And that's that. We don't need master anymore. So anything on the master layer, we can delete that. Delete that. We can close Rhino down, and we'll save this as smoothed. So that's pretty much it for drawing the basic outline. What I need to do now is mirror that point, turn on my orthodox, creates a perfect mirror. Just check that these lines are correct here. Now that's a little too pointy. So what I'll do is turn off my snap and I'll drag that a little less pointy. Drag that one to match up to there. Eventually. It's because I need my snap on. And that's quite a lot better. So we'll trim that off a bit there. Trim, trim. And that works for me. We'll go back to our original tenor drawing. Turn on our temp so we can see what we're looking at. We're looking at 12 1/8 inches. Go back into here. Smoothed. Draw a line from that point straight up. Open up a calculator. Convert inches to millimeters. 12.125. 307.975. So I'll copy that. 307.975. Zoom extents. That's how long the body should be, and that's how long it is. So now what I need to do is scale, select everything. That's my base point. Once again comes up reference, push R for reference, start there. I need to take that point, convert it to that point. Zoom extents, get rid of those. Zoom extents, Now what I'll do is I'll put in a measurement from there to there, 307.975, so my scale is right. Save it, come back to this one. Now I need to put in an offset for the blocks. 0.07 side thickness. Back into it there. Calculator. 0.07. 0.07 on 0.778. So we'll offset it by 1.8. Offset command 1.8. Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll join it. Join that and that. So now it shows as one line. Offset 1.8. Select the item I want to offset, the direction I want to offset it. And there's my internal part of the ukulele. Now that's what I'm going to use as basic for the blocks. Now I'll need to put in a tail block, a neck block, a waist block and a lower bout block. So we're looking at 6 blocks all up. The easiest way to do that for me is offset, we'll go 60mm blocks, offset our center line, draw from there, we'll make them 40mm deep, perpendicular to that, to there. Same on this side, 40, perpendicular to there. Now I can get rid of those 2 lines. For the lower bout block, I'll draw a polyline from there down to there. For the waist, I'll draw it from there down to there. I'll just move those up a little so I have something to trim later. Offset, I'll make these ones 60mm. So I'll offset that, offset that. This one I'll copy that, and it doesn't really matter. I'll go 20mm. Now copy that one again. As long as I go past the center point. So we have 70. That'll give me a 90mm block. So we need to draw the block in that point. We'll come out 25 on that one, perpendicular to that point. Same over here, 25, perpendicular to there. I can get rid of all those. And there. We'll come out 25 on that as well. See how that finishes up. Perpendicular to there. Again, 25. perpendicular to there. I can delete those, and then we've got our 6 blocks. Now what I need to do is actually make them into blocks. So what I'll do is call up the trim command. I'll trim that, 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 and that. Then I need to trim this line in between each one. So I just select the gap in between my blocks. And there's my basic blocks. But they're all separate lines, so I'll need to join those as well. Join that, 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 and so on. It's fairly repetitious work doing this. And then we just check that everything's joined properly, which it has. So we'll save that. Now what we need to do is do the outside of the form. Let's call up the offset command again. We'll go 35mm. Set 35. That one there, offset there, and basically it just does a odd shape. So what I need to do is trim this section here. So I'll do from there to there, rough enough. And you'll see that the line is a bit out of position. So I'll join that down to there. This one could go down there a little, and that's pretty good. Now to get my other one, I'll just put some temporary lines in from there down to there, line from there to there, delete those two, trim that one, then I'll trim the inside of it. There's my basic shape. I need a couple of flats on the end, so do that, I'll offset those 40mm to there, draw a line from that intersection straight down, a line from that intersection straight down. I can get rid of those. If you don't get rid of it as you go, it ends up with a lot of extra lines. So we trim again, trim that one, trim that one. I want to trim that part there, that part there. Then I'll want to trim, actually no, I won't. I will delete those because what I'll do is line from there, perpendicular to there. Let's turn my snap off. Let's turn it back on to there, perpendicular to there, from that point to that point, and I'll show you why I'm doing this very shortly. Perpendicular to there, to there. I want to trim that piece and that piece. I will copy those into the same position. Now I've got separate lines here, so I need to join those. Join that, join that, join that, that, one of those. Okay, now there's a problem. I'll have to break that line. First point is there. That's my last point. Still, okay. Now that's come up as two lines, which is fine. I'll join those. That, 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 and that. So it shows me as one line there. Command again. Join that, 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 and that, and it shows me as one line again. So we've got all the separate blocks there, and we've got the separate outside pieces there. We'll save that. I don't need the center line anymore, so we can delete that. So what we have is our basic forming block, forming tool. So what we need to do now is put in some alignment vectors, just so as when the customer gets it, he can see where the blocks are aligned, which block goes where, how it's aligned, and so forth. So what I'll need to do is just drag some lines around from each corner. And these will become alignment marks. And that way the customer can align exactly where these blocks go. And he can be sure that that's going to push perfectly up against his bent ukulele sides. So I've got those. I'll make them about 15mm long. So we'll offset, enter 15, offset that one, offset that one, go in our trim command, trim that, then it's a matter of trimming each of these lines inside that point. Fairly monotonous, but that's how doing vector drawings gets sometimes. So they're alright. Now I just need to delete these outside wasted space. I can delete those because they're no longer needed. Now I need to delete these little bits in here. So I go back on a trim command, there, and I'll go through and trim each of these. that's not very good. So what I'll do is, it doesn't line up too well, so I'll move that to there. Go back into another trim command. Trim that. Trim that. And that's that. Zoom extents. Now I'll put a couple of markers there. Center of that up 15. Copy that from that point to that point. Copy those. From that point to the center of that, and that will make sure that both halves are in line when the customer goes to put it together. But that's about all we can do in, save that for now. That's about all we can do in Autocad. That gives us the basic shape, the blocks that we need. And now we'll start up another program in a minute. Say that again, close that down. Do I want to save it in drawing format? No. Do I want to save that? No. Stop our timer. So that took 30 minutes.